All right, so let's dive into this whole domain-oriented data ownership thing.
Okay.
I think if you're working with data, especially with relational databases, you're probably dealing with the same headaches everyone else is.
Yeah.
You've got data silos popping up everywhere, and then you've got data quality issues that you just can't seem to shake.
Right.
And just getting access to the data you need sometimes feels like
pulling
teeth.
It's a common struggle for sure.
Yeah.
But there is a new approach that's gaining some traction out there.
Okay.
And it's called data mesh. And domain-oriented ownership is a really core part of it.
Okay.
It's kind of like shifting from a massive centralized data lake to a network of interconnected data products.
Data products.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So instead of one giant data team that's trying to wrangle everything, we're giving ownership to the folks who actually live and breathe that data.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think of it this way. Imagine a company that has separate teams for, online payments, inventory, and customer service.
Okay.
Each team knows their data best.
Yeah.
So you've got the online payments team, they understand all the ins and outs of transaction data.
Right.
The inventory team, they live in the world of stock levels and product IDs and all of, and so on and so forth.
So instead of a central data team that's trying to be a jack of all trades, we're letting each team be kind of the master of their own data domain.
That's it.
Okay. I can see how that would make things, more efficient.
Yeah, and more effective.
Okay.
Let's say the online payments team needs to make a change to how they track transaction fees or something.
Right.
With domain-oriented ownership, they don't have to go through this whole long process of, submitting a request to a central data team.
Right.
They control their data pipeline, so they can adapt quickly and keep things running smoothly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right.
No more bottlenecks, no more waiting for approvals from a team that might not even fully grasp, the nuances of that data.
Exactly.
Okay, but how does this domain-oriented approach actually work in practice?
Each team basically treats their data as a product.
Okay.
Just like a software development team would.
Yeah.
They define it, they ensure its quality, and they make it available to others who need it.
Okay.
It's really about shifting from a mindset of data as a byproduct to data as a valuable asset.
So are we talking about creating separate databases for each team?
Not necessarily.
Right.
It could get a little messy if we're not careful, but rather distinct data products within a larger ecosystem.
Okay.
Think of it as, clearly defined data sets with well-documented schemas and APIs for access.
Okay.
And that actually brings us to a crucial point about why this is so important for data mesh.
All right. Let's talk data mesh. This is a term I'm hearing more and more these days. It sounds like a pretty radical departure.
It is.
From how we traditionally manage data.
It's all about decentralization and treating data as a product.
Okay.
It's about moving away from those big monolithic data architectures and embracing a more flexible, distributed approach.
So domain-oriented ownership is kind of the foundation of this data mesh structure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's like building a house,
Right.
Domain-oriented ownership is the foundation.
Yeah.
Without it, the whole structure just wouldn't hold up.
So each team with their own data product becomes like a building block in this larger data mesh architecture.
That's it.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here.
And the beauty of this approach is that it allows for scalability and resilience. So if one team's data product needs to evolve, it doesn't disrupt the entire system.
That's a huge advantage in today's world where things are constantly changing. We need data systems that can adapt quickly without bringing everything to a grinding halt.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm following you so far.
Okay.
But let's get practical here.
All right.
You mentioned that domain-oriented ownership can actually improve data quality. How does that work?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
When the team that's closest to the data is responsible for it, they have a vested interest in keeping it accurate and reliable.
Right.
They're the ones using it day in and day out. So they understand its nuances, and they can spot inconsistencies that a centralized team might miss.
It's like having a dedicated gardener, right?
Yeah.
Tending to a specific patch of land. They know which plants need more sun, which ones need more water.
Right.
They can spot a weed from a mile away.
Exactly. And because they own the data pipeline, they can implement quality checks and cleansing processes right at the source.
Okay.
Which means you're dealing with trustworthy data from the get-go.
No more garbage in, garbage out.
Right.
Okay, I like it. But wouldn't giving so much autonomy to these individual teams create potential for, well, chaos?
Well,
how do you
that's a good question.
Ensure consistency across the entire data mesh?
That's where the concept of federated computational governance comes in.
Okay.
It's about establishing a set of agreed-upon standards and policies that all the domain teams adhere to. Think of it as like a common language for data.
So even though each team has ownership of their own data product, they're still playing by the same rules.
That's right.
Okay, makes sense. But how do you actually enforce those rules in a decentralized system?
That's the computational part of federated computational governance.
Okay.
These policies aren't just guidelines that are, written in a document somewhere.
Right.
They're embedded in the system itself.
Okay.
Enforced through code and automation.
So it's like having a set of traffic lights and speed limits built into the roads themselves rather than relying on drivers to always follow the rules.
Precisely. This automated approach ensures consistency and reduces the risk of human error.
Right.
And it allows for real-time monitoring and alerts if something goes off track.
Okay. I see how that provides a safety net. But what about accountability?
Yeah.
If something does go wrong with the data, how do we know who's responsible in a decentralized system?
Domain-oriented ownership actually makes accountability clearer.
Okay.
Because each team owns their data product.
Right.
It's very easy to pinpoint where an issue originated. No more finger pointing or trying to track down who touched what data and when.
So it's like having a clear chain of command, right?
Exactly.
If there's a problem with the online payment data, we know exactly who to talk to.
You go right to the source.
Okay.
And this clear accountability also fosters a sense of ownership and pride. Teams are motivated to maintain high data quality because their reputation is on the line.
It's like having your name on the label of a product, right?
Exactly.
You want to make sure it's something you're proud to stand behind.
Now, this shift to domain-oriented ownership and data mesh does require a different way of thinking about data infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's about moving away from centralized platforms and embracing self-service capabilities.
Self-service.
Yeah.
So we're giving each team the tools and resources they need to manage their own data products.
End to end.
End to end. Okay. That's a lot of power in the hands of individual teams.
It is.
It sounds almost like a data democracy.
If you call it that.
But wouldn't this place a huge burden on those teams?
It's definitely a shift.
Okay.
But the goal is to empower, not to overwhelm.
Right.
The self-service platform provides guardrails and ensures consistency.
Okay.
So it's not about leaving teams to fend for themselves in the wild west of data.
It's like giving each team like a powerful car to drive, right? But it's got safety features like lane assist. And automatic braking to keep things under control.
The good analogy.
Okay.
And this self-service approach is really crucial for scalability.
Okay.
As the data mesh grows.
Right.
You can't rely on a centralized team to manage every single data product.
That would create a massive bottleneck.
It would.
It'd be like having one chef trying to cook for an entire city.
Right. Now, this doesn't mean the central data team completely disappears.
Okay.
Their role evolves.
Okay.
They become more like enablers.
Okay.
They provide the platform, the tools, and the guidance to support the domain teams.
So they're like the architects and the coaches of the data ecosystem. They set the overall strategy. They build the infrastructure. And they help the team succeed.
That's it. They might focus on things like data governance, security, and best practice sharing.
Okay.
But the day-to-day management of the data products rests with the domain teams.
This all sounds incredibly promising. But I can't help but wonder, is this just a theoretical concept?
Well,
or are there companies actually doing this in the real world?
There are definitely companies adopting these principles and seeing real benefits.
Okay.
Take, for example, a global e-commerce company that was struggling with data silos and slow data delivery.
Okay, tell me more.
All ears. They decided to embrace domain-oriented ownership and data mesh principles. They empowered their product teams to manage their own data. Implemented a self-service data platform. And established a federated computational governance framework.
Okay, what happened?
So
it actually worked.
The results were actually pretty significant.
Yep.
They saw a dramatic improvement in data quality, faster data delivery, and increased agility in responding to market changes.
All right.
Their teams felt more empowered and accountable for their data.
That's encouraging to hear.
Yeah.
So it's not just a pie-in-the-sky idea.
Yeah.
It can actually be done.
It can be done, and it's gaining momentum.
Okay.
More and more companies are realizing that the old ways of managing data simply don't work in today's data-driven world.
So this is the future of data management.
It's certainly a major force shaping the future.
Okay.
Of course, it's not a silver bullet.
Right.
And there are challenges to overcome.
Yeah.
But the potential benefits are enormous.
Well, I'm convinced. This has been a truly eye-opening deep dive.
I'm glad.
I'm starting to see data in a whole new light.
That's great.
But before we wrap up, I have one more question.
Okay.
For someone who's ready to, dip their toes into this data mesh world, where do they even begin?
Well,
it sounds like a pretty big undertaking.
It can seem daunting, you're right.
Yeah.
But you don't have to boil the ocean all at once.
Okay.
Start by identifying a pilot project.
Right.
A specific domain that's well-defined.
Okay.
And has a team that's enthusiastic about trying new things.
So pick a team that's already, data savvy.
Yeah.
And kind of eager to be the trailblazers.
Exactly. Work closely with them to define their data product, establish clear quality metrics, and figure out how those computational governance policies will apply to their domain.
So it's like setting up a mini data mesh within the larger organization, kind of a testing ground to see how it all works in practice.
Precisely. And as you learn from that pilot, you can gradually expand to other domains, building out your data mesh one step at a time.
That's reassuring. It makes it feel less like a giant leap and more like a series of, manageable steps.
Right.
But what about the human side of things?
Okay.
How do you get people on board with such a radical change?
Communication is key.
Okay.
Be transparent about the why, the benefits, challenges, and most importantly, involve people from the very beginning.
Okay.
Get their input. Address their concerns.
Right.
Make them feel like they're part of the solution.
So it's not just about implementing new technology.
Take a cultural shift.
It's about fostering a new culture around data.
Absolutely. Data mesh is as much about people and processes as it is about technology.
Okay.
You need to create an environment where people feel empowered to own and manage their data and where they trust that the system as a whole will work reliably.
And of course, you're always going to have those people who resist change. So how do you handle that?
Focus on the positive impacts.
Okay.
Showcase early wins from the pilot project.
Right.
Demonstrate how this approach can make their lives easier, give them more control, and ultimately help them deliver more value to the business.
So it's about showing, not just telling.
Yeah.
Right? People need to see the tangible benefits.
They do.
To truly get on board.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of education.
Okay.
Provide training opportunities to help people develop the skills they need to thrive in this new data-driven world.
So it's about investing in data literacy across the entire organization.
Precisely. Now, one last thought before we wrap up.
Okay.
Data mesh is still an evolving concept.
Right.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution, and you'll likely encounter bumps along the way.
So it's more like a journey than a destination.
Exactly. Be prepared to experiment, iterate, and adapt.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to reach out to the growing community of data mesh practitioners for support and guidance.
This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive.
Well, thank you.
I'm walking away with a whole new perspective on data management.
Good.
And I'm honestly quite excited about the possibilities.
I think it's an exciting time to be working with data.
Yeah.
And I believe that data mesh, with its focus on domain-oriented ownership, really holds the key to unlocking the true potential of data in the years to come.
I couldn't agree more. A big thank you to our expert.
You're welcome.
For sharing their knowledge and insights with us today.
My pleasure.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it valuable. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world of data.
Absolutely.
Until next time, happy data exploring.
For someone who's ready to, dip their toes into this data mesh world, where do they even begin? I mean, it sounds like a pretty big undertaking.
Yeah, it can be. It can seem daunting.
Yeah.
You don't have to boil the ocean all at once.
Right.
Start by identifying a pilot project.
Okay.
A specific domain that's well-defined and has a team that's enthusiastic about trying new things.
Okay, so pick a team that's, already data savvy, eager to be the trailblazers.
Exactly. Work closely with them to define their data product.
Establish clear quality metrics and figure out how those computational governance policies will apply to their domain.
So it's like setting up a mini data mesh within the larger organization.
Yeah.
Kind of a testing ground to see how it all works in practice.
Precisely. And as you learn from that pilot, you can gradually expand to other domains.
Correct.
Building out your data mesh one step at a time.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Yeah.
It makes it feel less like a giant leap and more like a series of manageable steps.
Right.
What about the human side of things? How do you get people on board with such a radical change?
Communication is key.
Okay.
Be transparent about the why, the benefits, the challenges, and most importantly, involve people from the very beginning.
Okay.
Get their input, address their concerns, make them feel like they're a part of the solution.
So it's not just about implementing new technology.
Right.
It's about fostering a new culture.
It is. It's a cultural shift.
Around data.
Absolutely. Data mesh is as much about people and processes as it is about technology. You need to create an environment where people feel empowered to own and manage their data and where they trust that the system as a whole will work reliably.
Right. And of course, there will always be those people who resist change.
You will. You will.
All right, you handle that.
Focus on the positive impacts.
Okay.
Showcase early wins from the pilot project.
Right.
Demonstrate how this approach can make their lives easier, give them more control, and ultimately help them deliver more value to the business.
It's about showing, not just telling.
Yeah.
People need to see the tangible benefits to get on board.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the power of education. Provide training opportunities to help people develop the skills they need to thrive in this new data-driven world.
So invest in data literacy across the organization.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Now, one last thought before we wrap up.
Oh.
Data mesh is still an evolving concept.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution, and you'll likely encounter bumps along the way.
So it's more like a journey than a destination.
Exactly. Be prepared to experiment, iterate, and adapt, and don't be afraid to reach out to the growing community of data mesh practitioners for support and guidance.
Well, this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive.
Oh, thank you.
I'm walking away with a whole new perspective on data management, and I'm honestly quite excited about the possibilities.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be working with data, and I believe that data mesh, with its focus on domain-oriented ownership, really holds the key to unlocking the true potential of data in the years to come.
I couldn't agree more. A big thank you to our expert for sharing their knowledge and insights with us today.
My pleasure.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it valuable. If you did, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world of data. Until next time, happy data exploring.